Hi everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. And guess what? It's time, once again, to go back to Kingdom Hearts. I previously blogged the first game, along with Cham Memories and 358 over 2 days, during my Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 remix blog before my leg got operated. And I did do a countdown of my 10 favorite worlds to visit in the Kingdom Hearts franchise. But, last Christmas, not too long after I got home from my Floridian vacation, I received Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 remix, and it came with a very special pin. This game contains 3 games, which consist of Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix, and the cutscenes of Kingdom Hearts Recoded. Now, to start things off, I need to mention that over a month ago, one of the greatest actors who ever lived just sadly passed away at the age of 83 due to complications from chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases. And that man was Leonard Nimoy. This guy has been in such great films such as Star Trek, The Halloween Tree, along with, well, The Page Master, and others. So you could say that this blog will be in dedication to his memory. So let's begin this 3-part episode with the first Kingdom Hearts game in the Kingdom Hearts timeline. Released for the PSP in Japan on January 9, 2010, and in North America on September 7, 2010, the game is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Now, let's begin with the story of this game. And this summary might be a bit long, though. So, stay with me, people. In the Land of Departure, Terra and Aqua take an exam to achieve the Mark of Mastery, which will allow them to become Keyblade Masters. However, only Aqua passes while Terra fails due to the abundant darkness in his heart, which leaked out of his arm. Shortly after the test, Xehanort disappears, and a horde of mysterious creatures known as the Unverse began to appear throughout different worlds in pursuit of the Princesses of Heart. Learning of these developments from Yen Sid, Master Ericus sends Terra and Aqua to destroy the Unverse to find Xehanort. Meanwhile, Ventus is coaxed by Xehanort's apprentice Vanitas into following Terra against Ericus' wishes, while Ericus orders Aqua to watch over Terra and bring Ventus back to the Land of Departure. As the three travel through several worlds, Terra attracts the attention of several villains who offer him the whereabouts of Xehanort in exchange for his assistance in their own agendas. He eventually finds Xehanort in the Badlands, who instructs him to destroy Vanitas, revealing to be the source of the Unverse created from the darkness extracted from Ven's heart. The three friends briefly reunite in Radiant Garden, where Aqua and Ventus confront Terra about his actions, but he dismisses them. Then later encounters Xehanort in the Badlands, who reveals his intentions to fuse the hearts of Ven and Vanitas to create an all-powerful Keyblade known as the Keyblade, which is actually Kingdom Hearts' counterpart. Xehanort sends Ven to the Land of Departure to confront Ericus, who tries to kill Ven to foil Xehanort's plans. However, Terra, who has also been sent to the Land of Departure by Xehanort, faces Ericus to protect Ven. Upon his defeat, Ericus is vanquished by Xehanort, who covers the Land of Departure in darkness, and tells Terra to go to a world known as the Keyblade Graveyard. Ventus is similarly instructed to do the same by Vanitas, and as is Aqua by Yen Sid, as he informs her of Ericus' fate. Terra, Aqua, and Ventus gather at the Keyblade graveyard, where Xehanort appears with Vanitas and reveal his plan to use the Keyblade to unlock Kingdom Hearts and start a Keyblade war. An epic event that nearly destroyed the world in the past. Terra's heart is swallowed by darkness in the ensuing battle, allowing Xehanort to take his body, but Terra's mind remains with his discarded suit of armor, which comes to life and defeats Xehanort. Meanwhile, Ventus is forced to fuse with Vanitas to create the Keyblade and battles Aqua alongside Mickey Mouse. Yensid's apprentice. While he engages Vanitas in a battle within his mind, Aqua destroys the Keyblade as Ventus defeats Vanitas from within, though then loses heart and falls into a deep sleep as a result. After learning of Ven's state, Aqua brings his body to the land of departure, where she transforms it into Castle Oblivion to ensure Ven will not be disturbed. She then goes to Radiant Garden, where she finds Xehanort still possessing Terra's body. The battle rages until Xehanort unlocks his own heart after Terra's heart tries to regain control of his body and falls into the realm of darkness. Aqua saves Terra, but becomes trapped in the realm of darkness in the process. Xehanort, who remains in Terra's body, loses memories and is found by Ansem the Wise, ruler of Radiant Garden, and Ven's heart reconnects to the heart of a young Sora, where it is able to rest. So, what did I think of this game? Well, it started out interesting, like most prequels are, but as the story goes on, it goes to dark, nostalgic, fun, epic, and at the end, sad. But let's move on to the characters and what I think of each one. And when I say characters, I mean only the main three. Now, in my opinion, Terra, voiced by Jason Dohring, is a great character, and his abilities are strong. Some of his abilities are dark and earth related, but the one problem with Terra is he's easily led astray. For example, other than Xehanort leading him astray, Maleficent does mesmerize him to use his Keyblade to steal Princess Aurora's heart. The Wicked Queen orders him to kill Snow White, which thankfully Terra ignores. He also injures Bragg's face with dark energy. He also helps Dr. Jumba and Stitch escape from prison. And he got tricked by Captain Hook to guard his treasure. But you can't say all of Terra's actions were bad. He did help Cinderella get through a group of unversed on the way to the ballroom. And he does beat Captain Dark, aka Pete, in a race. He even rescues a warrior named Zack from Hades' control, and he does teach Stitch about friendship. Next we come to Ventus, or Ven for short, voiced by Jason McCartney. And he's my most favorite out of the three to play as. His attacks are quick, and some of his abilities are light and wind elemented. Ven mostly throughout this game has been going around looking for Terra, but after visiting Radiant Garden, he goes to different worlds trying to make new friends, and due to his nice and friendly personality, it wasn't very hard for him to make new friends. Also, in my opinion, his backstory was very hurtful because of what Xehanort did to him before he met Terra and Aqua. And lastly, we come to, Aqua, voiced by Willa Holland. Now, some people may say that she is the best character in a way, because of, her personality. But to me, she's my second favorite, because She makes the most sense out of the three, and her magic is really great when it comes to fighting enemies. That's basically all I got to say about her. Now there's more about this game that I need to talk about, such as, well... For example, there are, in total, 13 worlds in this game. There's the Land of Departure, which is where Terra and Aqua live. Well, and Ventus as well. There's the Enchanted Dominion. There's the Dwarf Woodlands, the Castle of Dreams, the Mysterious Tower, which is where Yen Sid lives, as well as Radiant Garden, Disney Town, Olympus Coliseum, Deep Space, Neverland, the Mirage Arena, and the Keyblade Graveyard, and the Realm of Darkness. Now, there are a few Disney characters that do fight alongside you in battle, but unlike in Kingdom Hearts, they don't stay with you throughout the entire game, though. Anyway, let's see who helps you out in each world. Now, Terra, Aqua, and Ventus do join together a couple times. In the Land of Departure, during the Mark of Mastery exam, they do help each other fight against a few balls of light that Xehanort has corrupted. And when they meet again in Radiant Garden, they join together to fight an unversed known as the Trinity Armor. In the Enchanted Dominion, there are a few characters that do help you out. For example, when you play as Ventus, the three good fairies, Flora, Fauna, and Meriwether, join up with you when you fight Maleficent. Well, kinda. I mean, mostly what they do is help repel Ven from being affected by Maleficent's sleeping spells. But later, Prince Philip helps Aqua fight Maleficent's goons and escape from the Forbidden Mountains. And afterwards helps Aqua fight Maleficent in her dragon form, which is awesome. In the Dwarf Woodlands, there aren't that many allies that help you, but as Ven, you do get to guide Snow White out of the forest and prevent her from getting hurt from unversed and dangerous trees. In the Castle of Dreams, I know I already mentioned that Terra does help Cinderella get to the ballroom, but I didn't really tell you that Aqua helps Cinderella's mouse friend Jacques. What Aqua does to help Jacques is get the key to the mouse hole while getting past them unversed in order to rescue Cinderella. Mickey Mouse, my favorite Disney character of all time, gets to help you 3 times in this game. Once as Ventus while fighting Vanitas in the Badlands, and he does help Aqua rescue a little Kyrie from some unversed at Radiant Garden. He later helps fight Ven, possessed by Vanitas in the Keyblade Graveyard. In Olympus Coliseum, you get 2 helpers when you're playing as Ven and Aqua. And they are Hercules and Zack. In Deep Space, there's Stitch helps you out a few times when you play as Ven. He helps you face an unversed boss known as a Metamorphosis. And as Aqua, he helps fight some unversed and helps fight Gantu. In Neverland, when you're playing as Aqua, Tinkerbell does help you in a little bit when you're going up Rainbow Falls. Now, past Kingdom Hearts games have always allowed the player to summon unique Disney or Final Fantasy characters to their sides, each with their own abilities, and usually not encountering anywhere else in the game. However, Birth by Sleep has something kind of different, known as, well, they view this ability in a new light. Summons are replaced with Dimension Links, also known as D-Links, which grants the wielder the powers of a unique Disney character for a short time. Wireless D-Links are also possible, allowing a player to connect with a friend's PSP to summon their character to their friend's side. D-Links have their own menu and are each granted a special ability summoned by selecting the command from the battle menu. The D-Links that are featured in this game are Terra, Aqua, and Ventus, depending on who you play as. There's Maleficent, which you get when you're playing only as Terra. There's Snow White, which you get when you're playing as Ven or Aqua. There's Cinderella. There's Mickey Mouse when you're playing as Ven and Aqua. You get Pete if you, after completing Disney Town and playing on the command boards when landing on Captain Justice or Captain Dark and winning it. And there's also Stitch and Zack and Peter Pan along with Donald and Goofy. Now it's time to move on to the gameplay of this game. Now, Birth by Sleep is divided into 3 separate scenarios, with each scenario surrounding an individual of the 3 main characters. The gameplay of each scenario differs based on the personalities and abilities of each character, such as power, speed, and magic. Players are able to choose which of the 3 scenarios to play at the start of the new game. Once all 3 of the scenarios are completed and all Xehanort reports are collected, the final episode, where Aqua fights Terra, possessed by Xehanort, is unlocked. Each character's stories will take about 15 hours, hence the total amount of gameplay hours would be like 45 hours total, excluding deck editing, retries, and countless other activities, making Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep the longest game in the series to date. The game also features several new abilities such as deck commands, shot locks, and command styles. Each are triggered via the battle menu. Deck commands are the standard abilities, equipped via the menu with a certain cooldown time, similar to the deck commands of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Shot locks are unique attacks that involve precise timing to unleash a dangerously powerful assault on an enemy. Command styles are even more deadly abilities that are unique for Terra, Ven, and Aqua, just like the shot locks. Now, besides leveling up the normal way in the other games in the Kingdom Hearts series, players can also play on the command boards, where they can land on special squares in a system similar to a game of Monopoly in order to gain special prizes, certain boxes summoning Disney characters or having other effects. You can play this game when your character is standing on a save point and you can access it from the main menu, or when you're on at the world map. In total, there are 7 different command boards. There is the Keyblade board, which is, after you go through the land departure. The Royal board, after you complete the Castle of Dreams. Spaceship board, which is after you complete Deep Space. The Toon board, after you complete Disney Town. The Skull board, after going through Neverland. The Honeypot board, which after you examine the book in Merlin's house. And the Secret board, which gets unlocked after you win the other 6. And now, the command boards aren't the only mini-games in this game. There are 3 that can be found in Disney Town, like the Rumble Race, the Ice Cream Beat, and Fruit Ball games, which I talked about before when I included Disney Town as an honorable mention on my top 10 Kingdom Hearts worlds. There's even a mini-game at Olympus Coliseum called Break the Urns, where you need to try to break as many urns as you can and try to get a higher score than Hercules. Now, like its predecessor, Kingdom Hearts 3.5.8 or 2 Days, Birth by Sleep contains a multiplayer mode known as Arena Mode, while only a different colored armor form of Terra, Aqua, and Ven are playable. New abilities are usable only through this mode, and players can obtain bonuses for use in story mode. Up to 3 players can battle unversed with customized names. They'll be ranked, demonstrated by colored symbols that look like those of Terra, Aqua, and Vanware. A new world known as the Mirage Arena is also accessible via the Joint Struggle. You can play on the command boards in multiplayer mode with a specific Mirage Arena game board. And now it's time for me to talk about the enemies that appear in this game, known as the Unversed. Now, as Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep is a prequel to Kingdom Hearts, the Heartless have yet to invade, and the Nobodies are yet to be created. So, the Unversed are here to fill the gaps of this. Even though that Neo, Shadows, and a few Purebloods do appear later on, but that's besides the point. Ranging from very small floods to large monstrosities like the Wheelmaster, they attack Terra, Ven, and Aqua along their journeys to countless worlds. It's revealed that they are extensions of Vanitas, being born of the most pure, raw form of darkness. Vanitas is able to manipulate the negative thoughts and emotions of a being and embody it into an Unversed. Now, while these Unversed are threatening enemies, there are a few that I need to point out that can be difficult, but simple to beat, though. But this is my opinion of the ones that kind of bother me, though. Now, the Archravens are tricky enemies because sometimes they fly too high for you to reach, and a few attacks can't really get them. Also, if there are items remaining on the ground, you better have as many moves as you can, otherwise the Archravens will swoop down and steal them. You need to also be careful around tank topplers while fighting them. You need to attack the valves on their back, if not, they will explode. And now the bruisers aren't that much of a big deal, but the buckle bruisers are worse due to their armor that block frontal attacks. The spider chests disguised as ordinary treasure chests do usually make me jump, and it's annoying when they usually go underground and attack you from beneath. There's also the annoying mandrakes that use their sharp leaves to attack you from far distances, and they could, flip-foot you when they touch you. And there's also an Unversed I need to mention now that's kind of important for one of the shops at Disney Town. You see, there's an Unversed known as Prize Pods that don't really attack you, but they are very quick and, they can get away very fast. You need to draw all of them and attack them at once in order to gather as many ice cream ingredients as you can. And they're useful when making ice cream at Huey, Dewey, and Louie's ice cream shop in Disney Town. Now, it's time for me to talk about the new changes in this game. Final Mix does feature improved graphics, and its controls have been adjusted for the game's transition from the PSP to the PS3. For instance, the camera can now be controlled using the right analog stick rather than the L and R buttons. The various environments the players visit over the course of the game are more detailed in appearance, and new sound effects have been added to these areas as well. In the final cutscene in Terra's scenario, the Lingering Will sprouts a cape that maintained continuity between Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep and its later appearance in Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. The Mirage Arena no longer has multiplayer capabilities. To compensate for this, the events and battles it hosts are more difficult, and additional challenges are featured. Also, the taunt command has been removed from here, and also the only few musical pieces that have been reorchestrated are Keyblade Graveyard, Dismiss, and It's a Small World, which is played at the Ice Cream Beat game. There's also a difficulty level known as Critical Mode for this game, and there's also all Unversed have been given new color schemes. For example, the Floods is now purple instead of blue. The sticker album and its related quest have been added. though several of the rewards have been modified for the international releases. The Rhythm Mixer command style has been added, and it is musical themed and requires the player to press buttons prompts for the finisher. There are also new commands like Union Rush, Voltage Stack, and Aerial Recovery. Even illusion commands have been added. That reminds me, the illusion commands are obtained by completing unversed missions, which can be found throughout the world as floating orbs emblazoned with the unversed emblem, kind of similar to that of the Vanitas' Lingering Spirit. Each unversed mission has its own rules and win requirements. Also, certain characters in certain cutscenes, including ones on the Destiny Islands, with Sora and Riku, are given higher quality facial animations. Armor of Ericus, Monstro, and Nohart appear as bosses of the new Mirage Arena battles known as Light's Lesson, Monster of the Sea, and Peering into Darkness, respectively. The Monster of the Sea battle is made up of a time stage where the player can attack Monstro directly, and an acid-filled stage within Monstro's belly, where the player is sent once the 2 minutes run out. The player must defeat the unversed within Monstro to escape and try to damage Monstro further. Beating the Peering into Darkness Mirage Arena grants the player a new Keyblade known as the Royal Radiance. The theater mode now has the option of viewing cutscenes in Japanese or English, although both options feature Japanese subtitles sometimes. And there's also a new secret scene known as a Fragmented Passage. In contrast to the secret movies seen in previous games, in the secret episode, the player can actually control the characters that appear and fight them pure-blood heartless, rather than just watching the scene as a bystander. And now, I have some last-minute things to talk about. Okay. Now, unlike the gummy ships from the original games, the Keyblade gliders are what Terra, Aqua, and Ven use to get to different worlds. In my opinion, all three of them have an interesting design, but my favorite one being Ven's. It looks like a flying surfboard, and I think it inspired Square. Well, it was inspired from a different underrated Disney film, like Treasure Planet. Not only do these things serve as ways to get to different worlds, but they're useful when fighting unversed in deep space, and they're used when racing in the Rumble Race game. Also, in my opinion, Haley Joel Osment as Vanitas is really badass. I don't think I've ever seen or heard him as a villain before, and he does a great job when voicing him. Makes me wonder what Emily, his sister, will think of him. Now, not many people know that this game is Brett Ewan's first time voicing as Mickey Mouse. And every time I think about that, it makes me miss Wayne Allwine very badly. But still, Brett Ewan does a good job with Mickey's voice in this game and nowadays. In this game franchise, we mostly know that Susan Blakesley voices Maleficent, but in this game, she voices two other Disney villains, like Lady Tremaine in The Wicked Queen, including in her old witch form as well. In Radiant Garden, my favorite part was when we meet Ansem's apprentices, like Evan, Alias, Dylan, Yenzo, and Breg, along with Lee and Isa. In Deep Space, my favorite part was seeing Stitch's cousin, Experiment 221, aka Sparky. And now there isn't that many Final Fantasy characters in this game. I mean, mostly there are the Moogles, but the The other Final Fantasy character in Birth by Sleep is Zack, voiced by Rick Gomez. He makes a great best friend role, and he's a tough boss to fight. But I don't really like it when he flirts with Aqua. Now, not only is Xehanort voiced by Leonard Nimoy, but Ericus is voiced by Mark Hamill. Now I'll bet you guys are wondering why these two are voicing in this game. Well, because director Tetsuya Nomura chose them because of Hamill's role as Luke Skywalker. Nomura loved the Star Wars series, and his desire to put Star Wars and Star Trek, a series that Nomura is also a fan of, against each other in a dream match by casting Star Trek's Leonard Nimoy as Master Xehanort, which seems like an epic choice. Now it's time to move on to my final words of this game. Overall, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep is a terrific game. It has a decent gameplay, great Disney worlds to explore, and an epic story, and it even has an ending that will leave anyone in tears. I recommend any Kingdom Hearts fan to play this game first before playing the other games, if you want to know the premise of the events and the plot of the franchise. As for my final rating, I give it a 97%. Now before I go, I just want to say one thing. Mr. Nimoy, you were such a great actor, and you made your characters awesome and memorable. Rest in peace, Spock. You earned it. I just hope that Square can find a new voice actor to replace him before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. But until then, we'll always remember you, Mr. Nimoy. Well, that's it for now. Be sure to join me next time when I talk about Kingdom Hearts 2. So till then, to be continued.